dear students. I am Dr. Shikha Pandey, Associate Professor from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So today I am going to discuss about the next module. This is module 4, and the first topic from module 4. This is environmental pollution. So basics of environmental pollution, their definition and causes and effects of air pollution. So first we will discuss about the basics of pollution, and then we'll discuss about the air pollution. So first one is the basics definition of pollution. Now comes to the basic lecture of the today's lecture. This is about the pollution. So first we will discuss about the basics of pollution. So pollution can be defined as an undesirable change in the physical, chemical or biological characteristics of air, water and land that may be harmful to human life and other animals, living condition, industrial processes and cultural asset. So pollution is defined as any undesirable change in the physical, chemical and biological condition of air, water and land or soil that may be harmful to human beings and other animals or any living condition, industrial processes and cultural asset. So this is pollution. This is called as pollution. Pollution can be defined as any undesirable change in the chemical, physical, biological properties of air, water, soil is termed as pollution, and that should be undesirable for the harmful for the human life, that should be harmful for the animal, living condition, industrial processes and any cultural asset. That can be termed as pollution. That can be termed as pollution. So undesirable change in undesirable change in physical, chemical and biological characteristics of air, water, land or soil is called as pollution. Any undesirable change in the air, water, soil or land is called as pollution, and that undesirable change will change the biological, chemical, physical properties of air, water and land, and that should be harmful for the living condition, human life, other animals, industrial processes and cultural asset. And pollution, sources of pollution can be natural or man-made. Man-made means anthropogenic activity. Man-made activity also causes pollution, and pollution is also natural sometimes also. So those agents that is causing pollution is called as pollutants. So this is the basics about the pollution. Pollutants are those things, agents that will pollute, that is causing pollution, is called as pollutants. And it can be defined as any, basically we know that any undesirable change in the chemical, physical and biological characteristics of air, water, soil is called as pollution, and pollution can be natural or man-made. Now comes to the pollutants, the basics of pollutants. How many pollutants is there? So first one is the deposited matter that is present in the atmosphere can act as a pollutant. And the example for deposited matters are soot, smoke, tar or dust or domestic waste also. This will gives the air pollution. So first this pollutant we are discussing about the basics of pollutants, that in water pollution, in air pollution, in soil pollution, in oil pollution. And next one is the gases. The gases that is present in our atmosphere, and the example of these gases are carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, halogens. These are the gases that is causing air pollutions. Next is the metal. Metal are like lead, zinc, iron, chromium. They are carcinogenic in nature. Sometimes metals are carcinogenic in nature, and metal will also act as a pollutant in air pollution also, not in air pollution, in water pollution, in soil pollution. So these are the some metals very highly, and these metals are very dangerous for the human life because they are cancer causing metal. Lead is also there. Some arsenic is there. Sometimes arsenic will enter into water, and that water will enter into the food chain, and that is very much harmful, and that will causing cancer to the normal human beings. And next one is the industrial pollutant. So those pollutant that will comes from the industrial processes, and these examples of industrial pollutants are benzene, ether, acetic acid example, and cyanide compounds also. And next one is the agriculture pollutants. So those pollutant that is comes from due to the agriculture activities. So by doing agriculture activities, some pollutant will generate, and that example for that pollutants are the pesticides, herbicides, fungicides and fertilizers. All pesticides we are using will have some chemicals, and these chemicals again going to in fact going to pollute the environment in terms of water pollution, in terms of soil pollution. So these are the agriculture pollutants. These pollutant comes under the category of agriculture pollutants. An example is the pesticides, herbicides, fungicides and fertilizers. So in these days, that's why we are focusing of using of some organic fertilizers to save the environment. This comes under the category of agriculture pollutants. Now comes to the next slide. This is all about the classification of pollutants. So first one, pollutants can be classified on the basis of its disposal and on the basis of its natural form. So classification of pollutants are done on the basis of nature of disposal. It should be categorized under the two categories. First one is the non-degradable pollutant and degradable pollutant. Degradable pollutants, nature of forms, so from where they are originating, from the source of pollutants. So from the source of pollutant, and it is about a primary source and secondary source. So this is about the classification of pollutants on the basis of its source, on the basis of its disposal. On the basis of disposal, it is divided into the two category, non-degradable pollutants and biodegradable pollutants. On the basis of nature of forms, it is divided into the primary pollutant and secondary pollutant. Now comes to the, we'll discuss in details about all these pollutants. First one is the non-degradable pollutants. These are those pollutants which degrade at a very slow rate. So it will degrade at a very slow rate and or by the natural biological process. These are inorganic compounds like chlorides, metallic oxides, waste producing material and material like aluminum cans, mercury salts and even DDT also. These continue to accumulate in the environment. So non-biodegradable pollutants are those pollutants, like example is the salts, metallic oxides, waste material and material like aluminum cans, mercuric salts, and it's sometimes DDT also. So due to their slow rate of degradation, they can be accumulate in environment also. So it is a very, very dangerous kind of pollutant, and DDT is a perfect example for non-degradable pollutant. Due to its slow degradation rate, it is going to be enter into the environment, and then it will enter into the food chain, and then it is going to infect everybody. And DDT is a very dangerous substance, and it is a non-degradable pollutant also. Now comes to the next category, that is biodegradable pollutant. So these includes domestic sewage that easily decomposes under natural processes and can be rapidly decomposed by natural or artificial methods. These causes serious problem when accumulated in large amounts, as the pace of deposition exceeds the pace of decomposition of disposals. So this is biodegradable pollutant. The common biodegradable pollutants are the domestic sewage that easily decomposes under the natural condition, and these can cause serious problem when accumulated in large amount, as the pace of deposition exceeds the pace of decomposition of disposal. So the rate of its decomposition will increase the pace of will increase the rate of its disposal. So that's why biodegradable pollutants are harmful. No problem, it's a degradation. Its degradation rate is good and it can be degraded in a natural condition, but the rate of the production of waste and the rate of degradation of waste will never match, and it will exceeds the degradation of waste. So biodegradable pollutants are also a very dangerous kind of pollutants. Now comes to the next pollutant category, that is primary pollutant and secondary pollutants. So it is on the basis of sources of pollutants. So primary pollutant are these include those substances which are emitted directly from some identifiable sources. And example for pollutants are, primary pollutants are sulfur dioxide, sulfur SO3, H2S, produced by the oxidation of fuels, produced by the burning of fossil fuels. Secondary pollutant are those pollutants that are produced by the combination of primary emitted pollutants in the atmosphere. Like in the presence of sunlight, a photochemical reaction will occur between nitrogen and oxygen and waste hydrocarbon from gasoline that form peroxyacetyl nitrate and ozone, and these are the very toxic components of smoke and causing smarting eyes and lungs damage. So this is secondary pollutant. Pan is a very common example for secondary pollutant. It will be formed by the combination of two primary pollutant. So secondary pollutant will occur, and the example for secondary pollutant is the pan and ozone. Now comes to the next slide. This is about the types of pollution. So we are going to discuss the types of pollution. Pollution, as we have already discussed about the basics of pollution, like pollution is any undesirable change in the air, water, soil, or anything that is harmful for the human being, that is harmful for the plants and animals, for harmful for any cultural activity, is comes under the category of pollution. Now, and on the basis of its source, it can be divided into two parts. First one is the pollutants, first one is the primary pollutant and secondary pollutant. On the basis of its degradation rate, it can be divided into two categories: biodegradable pollutants and non-biodegradable pollutants. So non-biodegradable pollutants are those pollutants that cannot be degraded under the natural condition, and biodegradable pollutants are those pollutants that can be degraded under the natural condition, but their rate of production and the rate of decomposition is very less, so it is very highly dangerous. Now comes to the types of pollution. How much type of pollution is there in our atmosphere? So first one is the air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, radioactive pollution, and noise pollution. So now we will discuss this topic with the first pollution, that is air pollution. Air pollution is one such form that refers to the contamination of air irrespective of indoor and outdoor. So the basic what it refers, air pollution refers to the contamination of air in indoor also and outdoor also. This comes under this will be termed as the air pollution. So a physical, biological, or any chemical alteration to the air in the atmosphere can be termed as pollution. So any physical, chemical, biological alteration in the air is termed as a pollution of air pollution. It occurs when any harmful gases like dust, smoke enters into the atmosphere and makes it difficult for plant, animals, and human to survive as the air becomes dirty. So it will comes under the category of air pollution. Like it occurs when any harmful gases like dust, smoke, anything enters into atmosphere that makes it difficult for the survival of plant, animal, and human to survive, and then this condition is called as dirty condition and air pollution condition. So WHO, World Health Organization, has defined air pollution as the presence of material in the air in such concentration which are harmful to man and his environment. A number of ingredients find their way in the air, and these are mostly gases which rapidly spread over wide areas. So basic pollutants of air are mostly the gases. So WHO has defined it like a presence of material in the air in such concentration which are harmful to man and their environment, and number of ingredients finds their way in the air. These are mostly gases which rapidly spread over wide areas. This is called as air pollution. So now the causes of air pollution. So the basic causes of air pollution means which factor causing air pollution. So first one is the burning of fossil fuel, agriculture activities. Due to agriculture activity, pollution will occur. Exhaust that is produced from the factories and industry will causes air pollution. Mining activities will causes air pollution. Indoor air pollution like indoor use of some microwave, use of refrigerator will pollute indoor airs. Now SPM, that is suspended particulate matter, that is already present in the environment will causing air pollution. So these are the main factors which is causing air pollution. First one is like the burning of fossil fuel, like burning of coal and petroleum will causing pollution, will produce some very highly dangerous gases. Agricultural activity by using pesticides, herbicides, fungicides causing air pollution. Exhaust that will be from industries and factories causing air pollution. Mining activities, extraction of mines causing air pollution. Indoor activities causing air pollution. Suspended particulate matters causing air pollution. So we'll discuss about details of the burning of fossil fuel. By the burning of fossil fuel, sulfur dioxide emitted from the combustion of fossil fuel like coal, petroleum, and other factory combustible, and this is a very important factor for the burning air pollution, sulfur dioxide. And next is the pollutant emitting from vehicle, which causes immense amounts of pollution. Carbon monoxide produced by improper or incomplete combustion emitted from vehicle is another major pollutant, along with nitrogen oxide that is produced from both natural and man-made processes. So sulfur dioxide that is emitted from the combustion of fossil fuels like coal, petroleum and other factory combustible is one of the major causes of air pollution. Pollutants emitting from vehicles causes immense amount of pollution. Carbon monoxide produced by improper or incomplete combustion emitted from vehicle is another major pollutant, along with the nitrogen oxide that is produced from both natural and man-made processes. So nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, all causing air pollution. Sulfur oxide is produced due to burning of fossil fuel, coal and petroleum. Nitrogen oxide, carbon monoxide is produced from the vehicle incomplete combustion. And the sources of these gases are sometimes natural and man-made also. So man-made is a very dangerous sources, anthropogenic sources, that is from vehicles. Carbon monoxide is producing, NOx producing, and this is causing very high pollution to the environment. Now comes to the next reason for this air pollution, next factor for air pollution. First, though, this is the agriculture activities. So ammonia is a very common byproduct from agriculture related activities, and it is the one of the most hazardous gases in the atmosphere. Use of insecticides, pesticides and fertilizers in agricultural activities emit harmful chemicals into the air and can also sometimes causes water pollution. Sometimes farmer also set the field and old crops on fire to keep them clean for the next round of sowing. The burning of clean field is said to causes pollution by releasing harmful gases in air. So the example for this one is in Delhi. Delhi pollution is all due to the burning of old crops by the farmers is the main reason for the Delhi pollution. Because that pollution every year in the month of November and December, you will find that in Delhi the pollution level is air pollution is becoming very bad. The condition of air quality is getting very bad, and all is due to the agricultural activity. Farmer are burning their crops for the next round of sowing. So this is the reason for the agricultural activity for air pollution. Now comes to the next reason, next factor for the air pollutant. This is the exhaust from factories and industries. Sometimes what happen, manufacturing industry releases large amount of carbon monoxide. This is CO and hydrocarbons, organic compounds, chemicals into the air, thereby depleting the quality of air. So in manufacturing industries releases very large amount of gases, highly dangerous gases, and these gases are carbon monoxide, some hydrocarbons, organic compounds and chemicals into the air. So this is depleting the quality of air. And the petroleum refineries also releases hydrocarbons and various other chemicals that pollute the air and causes land pollution also. Sometimes this hydrocarbon is the reason for land pollution also in case of petroleum refineries. Petroleum refineries releases hydrocarbons and various other chemicals that pollute the air and causes land pollution. Comes to the next reason of the air pollution. This is mining operation. Mining activity is causing pollution because the mining is the process where minerals below the earth are extracted using large equipments, very high equipments, and during the process of dusting and smelting, the chemicals are released, and this chemical is causing a very high air pollution. So due to dusting and smelting, dust is producing, and this is causing very high air pollution. And next is the indoor air pollution. Household cleaning products, painting supplies emit toxic chemicals in the air and causes air pollution. Suspended particulate matter, SPM, are the particle that floats in the air and usually caused by dust, combustion, etc. So according to WHO, around 7 million premature deaths caused every year due to the combined effects of outdoor and indoor air pollution causes. As per the WHO, around 7 million premature death of babies is occurred due to this combined effects of sometimes indoor air pollution and outdoor air pollution. This is all about the air pollution and the factors of air pollution. SPM are the smaller particle that floats in the air, and it is usually caused by the dust and combustion of fossil fuel. So these SPM are the very minute particle that is already suspended in the atmosphere, and this is a very highly dangerous for the air pollutants also. Indoor air pollution is caused due to the house cleaning products, sometimes paints that emits toxic chemicals in the air and causes air pollution. Mining, in the process of mining, very high instruments, very high equipments in used for smelting and dusting process, and this will produce some dust in the atmosphere. This is causing air pollution. Now we'll discuss about the basics of air pollutants. What are the air pollutants that is causing air pollution? So common air pollutants are the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, SOx like NOx, oxides of nitrogen, oxides of sulfur, photochemical oxidants. This is the PAN, and hydrocarbons and SPM, particulate matters. So these are the air pollutants. These are the basic air pollutants that is polluting our air and at a very high rate. And this is very much dangerous for today's generation. So air pollutants, example for air pollutants are carbon dioxide, carbon monoxides, oxides of nitrogens, oxides of sulfur, photochemical oxidants, hydrocarbons, and particulate matter. And the example for particulate matter are SPM, suspended particulate matter, that is already present in the atmosphere at a very small particles, and they are very tough to collect these particles, and these particles are the major air pollutants. Now comes to the next slide. This is about the carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide has increased by 20% during the last century, because due to the industrial activity, due to the increase in the industrial activity, increase in the industrial processes, carbon dioxide condition has increased by 20% from the last century. And the basic effects of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, in the pollution, if you will get the nausea and headache. Nausea is a very bad condition of vomiting, and it increases in the air, may causes greenhouse effect that rise in the global atmospheric temperature. This may melt the polar ice, resulting in rise in level of ocean and flooding of coastal region. So this is air pollutants, all about carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide amount has increased by 20% from the last century, and this carbon dioxide causes nausea and headache. This is a common symptom of carbon dioxide exposure in the air pollutants, and it increases in the air, may causes greenhouse effects, rise in the atmospheric temperature. This may melt the polar ice, resulting in rise in level of oceans and flooding of coastal region. Now comes to the next pollutant. This is carbon monoxide and oxides of nitrogen. Carbon monoxide and oxides of nitrogen. Carbon monoxide is a very poisonous gases. It is produced by incomplete combustion of fossil fuel. Incomplete combustion of fossil fuel, carbon dioxide is produced, and carbon monoxide is a very poisonous gas. If you will inhaled, it combined with hemoglobin and reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. If this CO is combined with the hemoglobin, a condition will occur in a human body that will reduce the oxygen carrying capacity of the hemoglobin, and it will leads to the laziness and reduce vision and sometimes death also. So carbon monoxide is a very dangerous pollutant and a poisonous gas also. It will combine with the hemoglobin, Hb, CO plus Hb, carbon monoxide plus Hb, and this will reduce the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood in the hemoglobin, and this leads to the laziness, reduced vision and death also. Now next is the oxides of nitrogen. These include NO and NO2, which are released by automobiles and chemical industry as waste gases and also by burning of materials. These are harmful and lower the oxygen carrying capacity of blood. So oxides of nitrogen are NOx, NO and NO2. It is produced by the automobiles and chemical industry as a waste gas, and also by the burning of materials also. It is harmful and lower the oxygen carrying capacity of blood, and this is again going to be very dangerous for the human being, because if it will inhaled by a normal human being, it will reduce the carrying capacity of the blood, and sometimes this may lead to death also. This may causes suffocation of a particular human being. It may causes laziness, drowsiness, suffocation and death of human being also. So NOx and carbon monoxide is a very highly poisonous air pollutant that is produced due to the incomplete combustion and it is produced by the automobiles and chemical industries. Next is about the oxides of sulfur. Oxides of sulfur is SO2 and SO3. SO2 and SO3. In both form, sulfur is very much dangerous and it is again produced by the burning of coal, petroleum, just like fossil fuel. So, and this is by the burning of coal and petroleum, and it is harmful to building, clothing, plants, and animals. High concentration of SO2 causes chlorosis. This is yellowing of leaf, plasmolysis, damage to mucous membrane, and metabolic inhibition. High concentration of SO2 causes chlorosis, yellowing of leaf, plasmolysis, damage to mucous membrane, and metabolic inhibition. SO2 and SO3 reacts with water to form sulfuric and sulfurous acid. So, and this is the reason for acid rain, because SO2 when combined with water, it causes acid. It will produce H2SO4 and sometimes HNO3. H2SO4 is sulfuric acid, HNO3 is a nitric acid, and this is very highly dangerous acid, and this is the reason for acid rain. So sulfur dioxide is the SOx is the reason for acid rain in India, and this acid rain will damage many properties. So what will happen when concentration of SO2 will combine with water and produce HNO3 and H2SO4, HNO3 and sometimes H2SO4. These two will come due to the acid rain. And the next point is that these may precipitate as rain or snow producing acid or acid precipitation. And high concentration of SO2 sometimes causing chlorosis. Chlorosis is the yellowing of leaves. Leaves get yellow color. Plasmolysis, damage to mucous membrane, and metabolic inhibition. These are the effects of air SO2 on human beings and plants also. And oxides of sulfur is again a very dangerous pollutant. It will causing harmful effect to the building, clothing, plants, and animals. Now comes to the next pollutant. This is photochemical oxidants. Formed by the photochemical reaction between the primary pollutant, that is oxides of nitrogen and carbon hydrocarbon. In the presence of sunlight, PAN will form. PAN is the secondary pollutant, and this is the photochemical oxidant. As the name says, photochemical. Photo means light. In the presence of light, a reaction will occur in NO2 and nitrogen and hydrocarbon. This will form a very dangerous secondary pollutant, PAN. PAN is the secondary pollutant. This is produced by the reaction between oxides of nitrogen and hydrocarbon in the presence of sunlight. Nitrogen oxides in the presence of sunlight reacts with unburned hydrocarbon to form peroxide nitrate, ozone, aldehyde, and some other complex organic compound in the water. What will happen? Nitrogen oxide that is present in the atmosphere in the presence of sunlight, the unburned hydrocarbon is there, and this will form PAN, ozone, aldehyde, and some other complex organic compounds in the air. All are a secondary pollutant. Ozone is also there. Ozone will also form due to this nitrogen reactions, and due to this reaction, and all these are the secondary pollutant, and these are the complex organic compounds in the air, and these are the major secondary pollutant in today's environment, because PAN is very much dangerous. Ozone is again very dangerous. It is causing hole to the Antarctic. It is causing hole to the stratosphere. So ozone is very much dangerous due to the greenhouse gases. Ozone hole is there in the atmosphere. That's why ozone is entering into the atmosphere, and ozone is already producing in the atmosphere due to this photochemical reaction. Now comes to the next pollutant. These are the hydrocarbon and particulate matter. So hydrocarbon are the unburned discharge from incomplete combustion of fuels in the automobiles. And the examples for hydrocarbons are PAN with nitrogen oxide, and these are very toxic for the human beings. And next is the particulate matter. Industries and automobiles release fine solid and liquid particulates into the air And the example for these particulate matters are the fly ash shoots from burning of coal. Fly ash is again from the burning of coal. Shoot is again from the burning of coal. Metal dust containing lead, chromium, nickel, cadmium, zinc, and mercury from metallurgical processes. Cotton dust from textile mills are the example of particulate matter in the air. Like this, some dust is produced by due to the industrial activity, and these industrial activity and the burning of coals in the thermal power plant will produce fly ash and soot. And cotton dust from the textile mill is produced in the is a very minute suspended particulate matters, and these are very injurious to the respiratory tract of the human being. So these are the particulate matters, and the particulate matters are again an air pollutant that is very much dangerous, and the industries and automobiles release fine solids and liquid particles into the air. All these are released by the industrial activity and some automobile activity also. Next is the aerosols. Aerosols are the chemical released in the air in the form of vapor form. Aerosols are very minute particles that are released into the air in vapor forms, and these include fluorocarbon, carbon compound that is having fluorine present in the emission from the jet aeroplanes. So fluorocarbon are emission from the jet aeroplane. These are the carbon compound that is having fluorine with it. And this is about the emission from the jet aeroplane. Aerosol depletes the ozone layer. Thinning of ozone layer results in more harmful ultraviolet rays reaching the earth, which are harmful to skin and causing cancers also. So these aerosols deplete the ozone layer that is present in the stratosphere, and the thinning of ozone layer causes is very harmful. Ultraviolet rays are reaching into the earth, which are harmful to skin and leads to the skin cancer also. Radioactive substances are the substance released by the nuclear explosion and explosives. These are extremely harmful for human health. Next is the fluoride. Fluoride is obtained by the rock, soils and minerals, and containing fluorides release an extremely toxic gas is called hydrogen fluoride on heating. This gas is highly injurious for livestock and cattle. Sometimes fluoride enter into the water also, and that from groundwater it will reach to the food chain and causing the reason for water pollution also. Fluoride is also a very dangerous pollutant. It will causes fluorosis condition in a human being. Fluorosis condition. Fluorosis is a type of disorder that will cause due to the drinking of fluoride contaminated water. Drinking of fluoride contaminated water. So these are the common air pollutant, but fluoride is producing air pollution also and water pollution also. Next is the effects of air pollution. So now we are going to discuss about the effects of air pollution. Means previously we have discussed about the factors of air pollution, and the next is the air pollutants. The common air pollutants that is present in our environment, means those means from where air pollutant will comes. And now the effects of air pollution on plants and living beings and all the living organism, and to the atmosphere also. The first one is the respiratory and heart problems to the human beings. So respiratory and heart condition like asthma, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, heart attack, strokes, or along with cancer, among other threats to the body. Respiratory and heart problem is like conditions like asthma, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, heart attack, strokes, along with cancer, among other threats to the body. Next was the child health problem. Exposure to the high air pollution during pregnancy causes miscarriage as well as premature birth, autism, asthma spectrum to the spectrum disorder in young children. So this is a air pollution is very much dangerous for the respiratory and heart problem, child health problem, and exposure to the very high air pollution level will causes premature baby death and some defects in the baby, and autism is also due to the air pollution, asthma spectrum disorder in young children. Next effects of air pollution is the global warming. So with increased temperature worldwide and increase in sea levels and melting of ice from colder regions and iceberg causes displacement and loss of habitats. With increased temperatures worldwide and increase in sea levels and melting of ice from colder region and iceberg causes displacement and loss of many important habitats. This is also a reason for extinction and endangered of the species. So global warming and is also effects due to the air pollution, because greenhouse gases is released from the industries and from all industrial activity, and that will increase in sea level and melting of ice from colder region, and due to this icebergs causes displacements and loss of some their own habitat of the species. So this is global warming is also the reason for the increase in temperature worldwide and increase in sea level and melting of ice from colder region, and iceberg causes displacement and loss of habitat. Now next effects of air pollution is the effects on the wildlife. Air pollution is very much affecting wildlife also, because just like human and animals also faces some devastating effects due to this air pollution. Toxic chemicals present in the air can force wildlife species to move to a new place and change their habitat. That will affect their biological clock, because due to the changing in their habitat, their breeding rate, their extinction rate, their breeding rate is disturbed. They are going to be survive for their natural processes. Their survival for extinction is survival for existence is increased, and due to that struggle, the extinction of animal will occur in that species may go into the endangered category. So air pollution is affecting very much wildlife also. Next is the depletion of ozone layer. Ozone exists in the earth atmosphere and is responsible for protecting humans from harmful UV rays. Earth's ozone layer is depleting due to the presence of chlorofluorocarbon, hydrofluorocarbon in the atmosphere. Ozone exists in the earth stratosphere. In earth stratosphere, ozone layer is there. This layer is protecting us from the harmful ultraviolet radiation, because many harmful ultraviolet radiation is there, and if that rays will enter into the atmosphere, we'll get some cancer that is causing very much dangerous for human beings. So earth ozone layer is depleting due to the presence of some chlorofluorocarbon, hydrofluorocarbon in the atmosphere. Next reason for effects of air pollution is the acid rain. So harmful gases like nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide are released into the atmosphere during the burning of fossil fuels. So during rains, the water droplet combined with these air pollutants become acidic and then falls on the ground in the form of acid rain. Harmful gases like nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide that is released into the atmosphere during the burning of fossil fuel. So by the burning of fossil fuel, NOx and SOx will produce in the atmosphere, and that NOx and SOx will react with the water, the rainwater H2O, and causing and react and form a product H2SO4 and HNO3. H2SO4 is the very high concentrated sulfuric acid, and HNO3 is the nitric acid. These two acid are very highly dangerous acid, and in the form of rain, this acid will come into the atmosphere, and that will degrade the degrade the grounds, and that will degrade very important monuments. Like this acid rain is degrading the Taj Mahal, that is very important site for India. So that Taj Mahal is degrading due to the acid rain. Now the control measures we are using for the air pollution. So sometimes what will happen, the atmosphere has built-in self-cleaning processes like dispersion, gravitational settling, flocculation, absorption, rain washout, etc. to clean its atmosphere. What will happen, sometimes atmosphere will have their own cleaning properties, and this is like a dispersion of pollutant, gravitational settling, the pollutant is settling into the gravitation, flocculation, in the form of flocculation it will form, in the form of absorption, sometimes rain washout. These are the atmospheric self-cleaning properties. Atmosphere is going to control self-cleaning also, and this is the examples for self-cleaning by the atmosphere. And we can control air pollution by the source control method, and the next is control method in industrial centers. So source control is by the pollution controlling at their own source, from the source of that source where that is generating. So the example for source control is the unleaded, with the use of unleaded petrol, using fuels with low sulfur and ash content. So you can use the fuels that is having very low sulfur content and ash content. Encouraging some people to use public transport, walk, or use a cycle as opposed to private vehicles also. Plant trees along busy streets as they remove particulate carbon dioxide and absorb noise also. Catalytic converter should be used to help control emission of carbons. Catalytic converter should be used to help the control emission of carbons, and monoxide and hydrocarbons sources should be reduced. So this can be a source control measure for the so that we can reduce pollutant from its source itself, from the source that is generating. So you can use some more and more public vehicle. You can encourage people also to use this public vehicle, because this will reduce the emission from automobiles. And next is, you can plant trees in the busy street, as they remove particulates, carbon dioxide, and absorb noise also. Catalytic converters should be used to help control emission of carbon dioxide. Monoxides and carbon dioxide should be reduced. Next is the control method that is adopted in industrial activity. Because control measure you can do at their own place. Now in industrial activity, because many industry is also the reason for the air pollution. So what should we will do at the industrial level? So emission rate should be restricted to permissible level by each and every industry. Emission rate should be restricted to a permissible level that has been given by WHO. WHO has been given a permissible limit for every pollutant. So industry should be strictly follow the given permissible limit by the WHO. Next is the incorporation of air pollution control equipment in design of plant. With the incorporation of air pollutant equipment, incorporation of equipments that control air pollution is also mandatory for any particular industry, so that it will stop the air pollution. And next is the continuous monitoring of atmosphere for pollutants should be carried out to know the emission level. Monitoring should be done at every industry. Monitoring is also important for all industries. So the air pollution will going to reduce. These are the control measure you can do for the control of air pollutions. Now comes to the next thing. This is some example of some equipments ensuring sufficient supply of oxygen to the combustion chamber and adequate temperature, so that the combustion is incomplete, thereby eliminating much of the smoke consisting of partially burned ashes and dust. And some mechanical device should be used by the industry. And the examples for device is the scrubber, cyclone precipitator is there, a bag house is there, it will collect the air pollutant. Electrostatic precipitator should be used so that it will collect the air pollutant in a bag form. Scrubber should some air pollutant will going to settle in the scrubber. So it should be these are the examples of the instrument, that mechanical device that should be used in the industry to control the air pollutant. And the air pollutant that is collected in the industry, it must be disposed very carefully. And the factory fumes are deals, because the factory fumes have should be deal with the chemical treatment, because those fumes that is collected in the device, whatever installed in that particular industry, and should be deal with a great with a good source of chemical treatment. Because after collecting pollutants in the devices, their treatment is also important. So that chemical treatment is important for the scrubber, cyclone, bag house, electrostatic precipitator in the manufacturing processes. So these are the equipment we can use to control air pollution in the industry. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.